Well, from the author of Devil in the White City comes another thriller. Chicago professor William Dodd and his daughter Martha find themselves in Berlin in 1933, the first year of Hitler's reign. Dodd was assigned by President Roosevelt to be America's first ambassador to Nazi Germany. In the beginning, the pair found the new Germany enthralling, not like the newspapers back home had described. But that soon changed, and our own Becky Anderson sits down with author Erik Larson and talks about his new book, In the Garden of Beasts, in this week's edition of Authors Revealed.
Welcome to Authors Revealed. I'm Becky Anderson. I am so thrilled I have one of my favorite authors. It's Erik Larson, the New York Times bestselling author of Devil in the White City. He's here with his new book. It's called In the Garden of Beasts: Love, Terror, and an American Family in Hitler's Berlin. This is a little different for you, though, thinking about this time period in history.
Very different.
And the place, and considering so many of your other books are set more, late 1800s, the Gilded Age, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So tell us where the spark for this came from, because this story is a story we haven't heard, and especially from William Dodd's perspective.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, I think at first glance this may seem like a departure for me, but on the other hand, in many ways it's exactly what I like to do, which is to find a territory that people think they know a lot about, and then kind of show that maybe you don't know all that you thought. But the way this came about was actually that I was trying to come up with a new idea for a book, and that's always a hard time for me, because for some reason, whenever I am done with a book, I start with a blank slate. I don't have ideas backed up.
Erik, how long did you research this book? And I'm always wondering about, with your books, when you're doing your research, is that the fun part of it? Is that the journey that's so exciting, more so than the actual writing? Or what part of it do you enjoy?
I like both parts, I mean, the research and the writing, but I do generally like the research part a lot, although I have to say, being immersed day in, day out in the pathology of Hitler's Germany became a very, very trying thing. And I've heard that from others who have done a lot of reading, even. In fact, I got an email through my website from somebody who said that he had read just the rise and fall of the Third Reich and found himself depressed afterwards. And so that was a bit hard, but it was a lot of fun. Like I went to Berlin and got to experience Berlin, and there are some very subtle things about Berlin that I would never have understood if I hadn't actually gone.
So in writing this book, was it hard to, everyone knows what's going to happen, what happens in World War II and all the horrors that happen. How do you keep all of that out of your mind when you're writing the book and trying to show what was happening at the time and what was the attitudes and the sentiments and what people were thinking?
Well, I really tried to adhere closely to the point of view of the characters of the time. Even to the point where whenever I made reference to what we know as World War I, obviously at that time there had been no World War II, so it was not known as World War I, it was known as the Great War or the Past War. So even to that extent, I tried to maintain the point of view.
What an incredibly interesting conversation with Erik Larson, best-selling author of Devil in the White City. It's his new book, In the Garden of Beasts: Love, Terror, and an American Family in Hitler's Berlin. Back to you, Dolly.